Great. Thanks, Sue, for coming, and thank you for agreeing to do the interview. And why don't you
Of
tell our
course.
audience a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a Cal State Fullerton alum. I was part of the first graduating class of Cal State Fullerton back in 2003. So that kind of ages me a bit, but it also gives some context as to how long I've been doing this. The program itself had a really profound impact on my, journey as an entrepreneur. And so since graduation, I started up a bunch of companies and ran them successfully, some failed. But for the last 8 years, I've been running my own real estate and escrow company. And I think the journey started back in college for that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, good for you. I'm pretty sure you've been able to see Cal State Fullerton evolve a little bit as well as the time goes on.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I respect that. You say that you've had some businesses that fail and some that succeed, and what ended up leading you to help students in their educational journey at Cal State Fullerton.
So I think initially I started 7 years ago, and I think initially I was doing it because I thought how nice it would be to give back to, the the foundation of where I started, and I thought it'd be fun. And then since then, and like I thought maybe I can give some insight on entrepreneurship to the students. But since then, it's been kind of a mutually beneficial relationship because I find myself inspired by these students. A lot of them have a lot of passion and drive for what they're doing. And while I'm inspired, I'm still able to shed light on like what it's really like to get their ventures to launch and how success can actually be attained as an entrepreneur. So it was a little bit, initially just to have fun and give back, and now it's become such a rewarding experience.
Got it. Yeah, so it looks like it's helped you out in your life, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. I think it helped me out before without even me realizing it, because what happens with I think every career is you get stagnant or you get bored, or you just kind of lose that passion and that fire that you had to begin with. And when you're mentoring these students and you see their passion and their drive and how much they have to give back, it almost kind of reignites that fire for you in a certain sense. So it's actually helped and been rewarding to me in more ways than one.
Got it. Yeah, I feel the same way too. I think it's a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit. Even the last person I interviewed would like to bounce around a little bit and
Yeah.
not stay here or there too long.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I admire that. And what's one piece of advice you'd give to a Cal State Fullerton, aspiring entrepreneur?
So that's tough because there's so much, right? There's so many different pieces of advice you could give, but I think there's a saying, and I can't remember exactly perfectly clear, but it was, find something that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Um, I think that rings true for entrepreneurs a lot, and especially successful ones, because ultimately, what is a successful entrepreneur? It's somebody who, finds happiness in doing something and creating something of their own. And then, they're building their dream into reality. And then, and they're able to actualize their dream. So yeah, money's great and making money as an entrepreneur is awesome, but ultimately it's that happiness that you get from seeing your dream become a reality. And you'll never feel like you're working for it if it's really something that you love. And I think that that's really the one piece of advice I would give, is just find something you love. A lot of entrepreneurs go into business thinking, well, this will make me a lot of money, but they burn out because they don't realize how much work it takes to get to that point. That if they find something and they follow their passions and they follow their, what they actually love to do, the work won't seem like work at all.
That's a good point, and that's something that I struggled to when I was going to school, which was just last semester. And it was kind of trying to figure out this balance between, what is going to make me money and what's a passion that I have. And,
Right.
maybe I'm still not there at finding that right answer, right? But,
It takes time. I mean, I told you, I graduated in 2003 and started and failed quite a few times before I got to the point where finding something I love.
yeah, and I feel like I kind of have maybe reached this mental state of thinking that, you really can't be great at something unless you love it a lot. So that's kind of where I'm at in that sense. And, still trying to figure it out. And I think without a doubt, if you love it and you're putting in that work like you're talking about, you'll be able to achieve the monetary value eventually.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And how important do you think it is to have a mentor in this program? I mean, I never had a mentor. I don't know about you, maybe in
I
your younger
didn't.
years.
No, I think when so when I said we were the first graduating class, I think we were 12 students that ended up graduating with entrepreneurship that year. We didn't have mentors. Our professors were our mentors, in what we were doing. In my actual life, like day-to-day life and in my career path, I didn't have one mentor per se. I had several people I think I learned from. But I think having a mentor I would like to think it's vital because I'm part of the mentorship program. So of course it's like an ego thing. Like I want to believe that I'm important. But I think that, when you go to corporate, you have somebody teaching you, training you, guiding you, right? So I think that the piece that you're going to have here is, as a entrepreneur, you're not going to have somebody leading you because you're going to be the leader, but you're going to have guidance if you do end up using a mentor or having somebody that can actually guide you along the path of entrepreneurship. And I think that will make things a little bit more doable and easier, So I do believe it's a vital piece is the mentorship.
Got it. Yeah. And when you were going back to school and you graduated, the entrepreneurship program didn't have something like this, right? Where they're working with companies. Yeah.
No, we did work with companies. That was
Okay.
actually, we were the guinea pigs, I think, for these consulting projects. And at that time, they were like these big companies, couple of our companies were large corporations, and we were kind of given a task of what like MBA students are given to really go in there and do like a full consultation. I don't think it's that intense for students these days, at least from what I'm seeing. But yeah, it was definitely it was very difficult, but it was very rewarding because I will tell you that all the kids that graduated with me we're all still friends, which is cool. But they all went on to do really well in life, have a lot of success. And I really do think it was a program.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's the thing that I really enjoy about this program is that everybody is benefiting in a sense. The students are really
Mhm.
benefiting from my perspective. And I don't know if you've seen any success from the businesses that you help mentor and working with the students, but it seems like they have some great success as well. And
Mhm.
it's a full circle.
It's a full circle. It is a full circle. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's really cool watching it happen. I think that the creative process itself is so beautiful. And then seeing some of these kids come out of school and do really well with it. And I'm sure, we didn't have the success stories back then, right? Because we were just the first class. But now you see these success stories of these entrepreneurs that have come out of the program that have done really, really well, like the Keto Cookie Company and some of these guys that have done extraordinarily well. And it just kind of gives you that motivation, as a student to never really give up on that goal.
Yeah, well said. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you. Do you want to add anything before we close it out?
No, thank you so much for doing this. It's fun.